Badwam Jumedi, so no so about just around about 7:15 almost or Adom TV. Badwam you go so e dey bra no medini kaba. Na anope se ne onimu no yetena sesa no a ebu o man hu konta bia na enye sikasem konta. Na emum se ne o man no ebra ekọ se yekọ enim se yekọ echi ana se yegyina faako. Eno na de bia ye ne mpanifo adwendwen ho enam sai also etimi afamu aba de aboa kyekyere o man Ghana ama yo man aye ababe krabe menchirima amoyi edimboni ye pem so ane ye kono wo adwenkyere a wo de ba ye bekenkan 1760 network house bia na ye bekenkan na so betimi asa ni email kabatmanjoyonline.com ana Twitter handle no at kojo kaba KOJO KABA anopa isania wunimu ano enne any day chatwa a Supreme Court edema womo twimanso petitioners and respondents so bia emfa nanu disem ne addresses engu krata so no mfa metu court no anim by the close of work today ye say nenko na wie no na womu nyina ede womo addresses ekọ na nyame yadom a wochina na Supreme Court be san tenase na wabamba further directions wonya addresses na wie na say that ben and a court no ba betenase no the judgment diaba na say nyina ye boabo ho ne atwen saa da no a Supreme Court the judgment be ba no aprosifo ahyase ada womo ehu adi ekire womo ahoboabo a womo aye de twen saa da no dititu ene womo a womo aye madwen so womo be batabasa womo de ntokwa beba so bia na adwen so beto bombu so de die ne be yodin aprosifo enra efa nkramonten so ekire womo ahobo a womo ayo de kire womo Ghana eno ensem a yebedwendwen ho na no pay Supreme Court verdict and matters arising nkoma ye pono so na enran so New Patriotic Party minority press conference did you fa ye woman enyina mahoden fango ene ensem a aka in the energy sector ya omo kire se crisis ana se niema agensem nemum aban empanifo kire se da bi sani MPP for kire no enye ne saa enetie gidans nsem eda so a ena mu zoom line for wo omo ho ano ena minority for nso kire se report ana hwehwemu a ministry of youth and sports for year na owura Elvis Afriankra ede hu krata koto mampani anim ebraso so mampani wo de saa krata no beto abonten na Ghana for nyina etimi ehu nia ekoso eno ene nsem bi aka na na pay yesi hu konwa yenije so wa memu kwan mi rew fie mu mpanifo aye ne omo atenase ne ote yensa nifa so no ho a osoafa bedichire ya ohwe mabunu ani agudie nsem so owura yami obani emu achi mu akwaba boko
yami adom boko
era afi so no Kofi Ghana Maxwell Kofi Juma kane askwa mrashe bedwani ene wo say wo herbalist nti wo yenuru na wo de aboa magana fo anya yasa obani emu achi and Ashanti caucus and ye bro oh muina so muina mu senior okay
okay school papa oh problem
oh dabi
okay school
papa
problem
okay some mu ko school mi so mi ko mi school
oko ye ko college ye ko college
nko college
ne dia ni se me hu de ko faro de ko ye NDC ni
je you are here no aro so why crowd I see crowd oh say ya no wo ko ko za school so no wo mu di twitwi etiri mu crowd do ye dia we are proud o wo mu ko vidai wo mu ye proud so mu ko vidai wo mu ko Tachima secondary school so yeah we are proud o in fact we will be 50 years in November you remember what Prep college na this and na fancy pim na wo mu di twitwi etiri mu crowd do wo mu ko amuni school
we to yeah you hold your ball hockey mo bunu mari very hockey
yeah amobi oni eni bi kra busa for why crowd ayenko enkran enra na approach for etigu mountain so e de wo mo akonde ne ho kra no ba wo my crowd say obi person oye boni bia ebra election petition judgment senior nkuntabu ni kokko na nche abro so a ne say by 20th of August today na yehu ye how far na yehu boabo a etise yenko ya approach for enra bra wo mo tugu enkran mountain so na wo mo kire wo mo ahoboabo a
of the formed police unit, FPU, of the Ghana Police Service started off with a procession through town. From the Tesano Police Depot in Accra, the unit with its gear and fully equipped vehicles went through to some parts of Accra before heading for their headquarters. Unusual as the exercise was to Ghanaians witnessing it, they all paused to watch and also take pictures. The formed police unit, which replaces the armored car squadron of the police service, has 4 sub-units with 140 personnel each trained to handle mob actions. The Alpha, Bravo, Charlie and Delta form a complete team with support staff in administration, medicine, intelligence, maintenance, catering, among others. For the Ghana Police Service, the unit is timely as the country awaits the verdict of the Supreme Court.
We as policemen know that no matter how the pendulum swings, there may be some small pockets of people trying to bring about some public order management issues. We are preparing to them as we also fit ourselves into the worldwide policing system. To those miscreants over there, the police is going to meet them with equal force and will ensure that public order is maintained. Our mandate foremost is to protect life and property.
The FPU is to be deployed to support the United Nations Department of Peacekeeping and will therefore have its members undergo constant retraining.
The administration has plans far advanced for the transformation of the Paulugu Recruit Training School into a specialized public safety training school. A number of more training programs, both locally and internationally, are being arranged for you to standardize your practices, procedures, and techniques.
The FPU will also serve as a backup for other operational units within the Ghana Police Service.
So behind me is the exact duty of the formed police unit trying to stop an angry mob, trying to control agitated crowd. So this is the duty of the newly formed police unit. From the Integrity Square of the Ghana Police Service, Adom reporting for Joy News.
Well. The Ghana Police Service, I'm say from reformed armed police. Womona and so who and so idea. Also my crowd to deal with Obia and Adrian Swap so Ebony Biara. No young coma ye na in the midst of all these and any final day for the addresses. Yami Adom Supreme Court Ebersite Nasibim. No, I may already use someone for sending me text with me in a Kabayafi, a Supreme Court, and I'm saying, in common, you know, TV Zank Abe, who need my. Hey, okay. Minister, now, yes, I see you so. Yeah. Yamia Dumara, say, Bibia to Mua, and then a day chat to her. You heard him say, one more a day as some court in any more so Muyim Huano, MPP4. Yes, MPP as I'm making. And I'm one Muyim Huano, one some of the Atomoso, and Electoral Commission will be adding a day about to Supreme Court for any more number something I say. Proceed for I show my home boy, one more. Okay, can you now boom at the same amount because I quite say. Sending our peace campaign near dear Koso, no, Binum says, oh, Ghana, Kukuru, and Kusi here, and Tokabi, and see, we knew a busy. Think I will say crown or process for you and crank and who here. So I'm more than your message, as a moving around Crawford.
Well, go ahead, that's be brave. No, and okay, Supreme Court, dear. Ghana need be a she said, everybody. Na Ghana enya ya sumbi na ya toa amino mampanyi His Excellency John Dramani Mahama atoa na mamu so na Ghana phone na yehu the better Ghana promised by the the president. Nti enya nwanwa say Ghana for no mubusa onura say Supreme Court or Mafi Supreme Court just because they wanted to come and go fast.
So I
yes. So now say free ho na
almost exchanges are near cost no I put it to you and you are then Sanya man no money je ho.
And listen no Mafi no.
Oh sir. Omo fi chachu. Omo fi kwashi ada.
I listen no Mafi.
I don't know what you are saying.
Oh, no, so. My fancy here, I need to ask. But on muffin, me, muffin up, say, muffin, seriously. But you see, cover the interesting idea what Supreme Court in issue. Me say, Supreme Court waiting, no more brain same baby, about my mother. Now, I'm starting free a year. I saw for no, I casa, any other prophecies are a free left and right. Whether say be a prophecy, say yeah, be ankasa or my own. We see, but in the Bible, Ayana is not always about prophecy. Said in Yamiaka at the actual. Sometimes Ayana, the people in the Bible, like Paul, for instance, Ninsembi Honma or Kasi Wedi, Ayamia, most of his letters. So I say, oh no, I mean how he feels in the Yankopon ask friend directly where they work at the action. But I have a problem, kakra, with the same as Sofonua can't, sir, in Semina, Supreme Court, your mom pie say, a dear Sumbiani at the wedding.
You have a problem with that?
When you fail to hit the nail right on the head at a point, so. Oh, be our border the Yeswa, or bony year that the that one a quada. It goes straight. After before I started say Omudi case with the cocoto. Omutu and a movie. Almost started to almost prepare the minds of the people to back them to go to court. And when they were not fully set, omuni evidence be gathered evidence be no makache Ghana for so mokokot.
Yeah, so do you more na mekao ma menko bisa process for penny for say enra na yehu TV so an pay na ayedi entra. Director of Police Operations DCOP John Kudalo or ahoma so. Is obi an pay am watching o. Hey, Fatami. Commissioner of Police, and pay am watching. Oh, Yamedom, Yahoya Papa. Yeah, that's it. And pay her with TV sooner. What she says on your man, say, hey, this will be a COP. I couldn't hear any and Yasam Kitwa. Now, Yemisa and Ras, I dear course, so I'm moved to goon crime mountain so. Yes, our actually kakra and the chair somewhere on bois for BBCBiano. Not the important in way.
Oh, and no, not your launch where you need to be a friend of form police unit. Police unit to be a reactor for now more year. I did operational units, Ghana, Senenka or Armor Car Squadron. Into your launch way to replace it and then to bring conformity with world policing standards. As a time in them coincide here. The answer killing 2 birds with 1 stone. Yeah, launch so. Now you declare Ghana for say, Bhutan of the shots, the same thing, you know. Yeah, crowd.
Ah, just any Supreme Court has seen the baby share.
Exactly.
Aha. Because now I am on for Jimu na kakra say, na where the answer near kwa kumubino. Na yashe sad form police unity. I will say, yeah, international standards. Yes, say the umushem pepe no. One would you make potting ben one babedy?
Or what would the potting party effect is a public order management. So that's a route to be see, and I want to be see. Omna Yadi Omoko. And I say, so you and so say, BBC or you have to find a UN for here, police for a form police unit for a young motor friend. Your mission be a friend on armed mission, or qua, who in the policeman, or for you. It is our unity now, from now. Countries with the one, but the mobile no more arena, no more. I won't buy a police for no buying nothing. So, specially trained for refugee protection and many others. A composite police unit. So, people be a crowd. And if I do our unit to be a man, Western at 140.
Wamududu 140.
Unit be 140.
Now,
140 no moko.
I see. Now, that's a nipper who you know, Wamudu also chance out, Anna.
I'm also saying, yes, your 4 units to say, well, headquarters where I crown. The 4 units and draw me and you need to be 140. Now, apart from that, no, waiting be also we form police unit to be on. Then Alpha unit, Bravo unit, Charlie unit, and Delta unit. And until I know what also the 4 units, the 4 times 140.
Now, I say, dear Modia to Musi, Ghana, Dio.
Just for easy reference, Alpha Beta, when international, we are Latin. Just for it, so that do so that say, for a penny, baby, I can't. Maybe I do so and Ghana, the year that you swap, I say, you need be an answer. Yeah, people in Nanyama, do so away.
Yeah, now say, I said, more what the board back on Mami, Supreme Court, no so dear, ne fasa, no so, and also who are one on that saying.
Oh, I hope 1 year, if it's just almost started, say, on my court trial, if it's just a event to be any say, any idea, a baby. And if that is a year, and one boy is the public other event first now, no, cost now, as you but no, say, words way, no, our more corner mission, I did a proper public management way, well orchestrated, professionally done, according to human rights, the US standard, I say, so your court must move with the world. Next, I say, form police unit, so I can't want them after back when you funny. Say, Musa and Dram in a launch here. Now, I say, we could go bring, but when Supreme Court, the young boy, and then they started saying, but that is on the court, and they started saying, boy.
Proceed for intelligence, she said, court no day, or more atom over trouble on Tia, Basa, Ebesi Ghana.
Oh, say, police here, pending, I didn't look for West scenarios. And I prepare for the worst scenario. Prepare for worst scenario, not a fight to be here. That's to our advantage. But if we be able to everybody get crab, and then we have a be that's enough fire. Since the training, but was this say, I will say, Ghana no be DNC, but don't just say they didn't associate them with the training, as we spend the main type of policing in organization here, preventive policing. Preventive. Who say, come I didn't see a second or so. That's a big company against the police crab, we then fight from one point. Then no police work there. What is the protect life and property? You will so sure your police for the visibility and accessibility policing. That's what the world is going now. Preventive policing. The prevention is better than cure. It's a protect life and property. And say, we have maintained law and good order. They preventive crime. Your prevention, you're more foremost.
See, Opi, Necracrano, and near Momacodiane cars in Adom the Barbonti, said, about month for whom, Bishop Binumpa.
Oh, they be say a launch you and I say launch it near money. And see, every time I say, they will launch it, they're launching now. You must come in our listen, apparel, as agreed by the world. They will stand out now world and say, for police unit, say no more dressing. Can't every time we be in customer for normal police working dress, baby. When nobody at training, when I read in the international way, press one of the trap. Now you're not laughing stock. The woman say, yes, I'm paying for police unit. So you and here for police unit, I would not to start the Ghana for Mumra Beboa. Can drive by and say, if it will be after so, I'd rather near show your mouth, she will say, when Butama, my chef, I say, yes, and prevent you and protect the life of property. And preventing crime, and creating a number of environments, no more. Most of them from dream lawfully, no more to be alone. If you say, my name, I receive the question, say, your home, among said, yeah, or more, am I authority to say, and I power say, to me say, and
to when you and for as I sing bomb, Hokao, and Yakodian in Yamano.
I so call you and for I could have the call you soon here for Trianca.
I see. And your commissioner, Yabedo say, any more Juma Moyo, na Yashimun crime, Moncoso Sara, no pay multi TV for that, Papa. Yo, Commissioner of Police John Kudalo, Director of Police Operations, and Lieutenant Colonel. Now, Ocasio will be any evidence, and at the end, what now?
Yeah. And the name of person said, you're too abandoned, so him said, you're too abandoned, ye bet, and now so resource now. Even as at that time, cry, no. just projections and na media houses ni bi aye which afibia to ababia no mo ye based on the figures ababedu so back in 2004 Afarijan now so elections no even when some constituencies being there
because of cases or the count
dini na ma we so most of times I na the last constituency results no and they determine whether say will be beating me and it happens everywhere. In America, the last elections, you declare we 3 or 4 days later, and some kind of fraud, then the results here that they about wanting. But the MPP wanted to stop the announcement of the results just because they want to go to court. So, Dr. Farijan and sharing Ketianum addresses and more cross examination. One clearly said, time MPP for say a results and announcement. Near almost evidence in Brand. They had nothing to prove. So, come on, so now we had the time it take the MPP to file at the court. We are sure say in here 1,000 polling station results to be able to start your filings in court. So even if it is one, now there's evidence to that say a clear picture of the results. You can go to court. So looking at the time we take the MPP after the declaration of the results, say Omobeko court, just about 2 days to time now or more period to say one to me and file, then they rush to court. Now where the amendments and so on in court, now first 4,000, second to 11,000 yard, and it tells you clearly said. Before they were even going to court, no money
but we differ within the constitutionally mandated timelines.
That is what they are doing now. And I don't know what they Hagana and necessary.
Of
course.
Their president is a Boama Kebi, a team woman.
It is helping Hagana Kebi, emanating team just because. There should be precedence. Near the Casa. But should always be a bad precedent.
One day there is always a bad precedent.
Near Caninan said, to go back to history, Bima. Ubon said, time MPP before by a demonstration, you say, so almost sanitize or monk for some quarter. That was where I said, John catch a massive phone and I said, Nana do Busua, or pink sheet and one after the other. And that was about 3 weeks after the declaration of the results. Kumasi, a year demonstration, bina a year flop. So it tells you, sir, before an MP before call a software ho, a culture say a per se a court. They had nothing to hold on to. So I'm called peace councillor or refi. I'm called religious bodies, no, any other. And when I made my dear was say if that time, no. The religious bodies now will meet you or money, Penifua, Cassia will meet you or mono, were bold enough to tell Nanado and the MPP say, Basa, you've lost the elections. Mama Ghana, assume me and twice on your go and prepare and come another day. We are sure saying I am facing what we are facing now. We are sure saying I wouldn't be talking what we are talking now. But we encourage them to go. I think my problem is that. So encouraging you also where we are. Then you are not thinking about maybe or better. You see, now everybody is talking. Say Ghana, yeah, well, yet, I mean, fence be so. It is either going this way or going that way. As of are talking, and today, as of Nankasa Crown are throwing at each other. We can we know we are can. We can we know we are can. The country is further being divided by this court action. And this whole baby, we spend much of our time talking about court issues. We're not talking about the development that is going on.
For all this work, we say a form of development.
Development
in entrenching democracy and constitutionalism.
They say, yeah, okay. Say, police for a showcase or more to deal with in California. Yes, the police are supposed to equip themselves for internal peace. But we are sure, say, Quebec say, Supreme Court verdict in the Bible on we are assuming Magana. Is that what we are looking for as a country? Because I was just trying to search for President Kufuor's inaugural speech, 2001. where he made a statement. He said, problems are the runoff of 2000 elections at the bar. It's an indication. He said we have to, reform our electoral process. So what it means is that President Kufuor, our Babe appointing Nana Danko Akufo-Addo as Attorney General first. No appointee Honorable Kofi Juma as KMA Chief Executive before son of Babe a minister. There were problems in the elections. And Nana Danko Akufo-Addo and the MPP didn't go to court to challenge it, saying, "My winning here, but I've not won with the real figure. Ebi committee me winning with higher percentage, but because of this and that evidence in court in decided na yentimin kanchre me say I won the election with this percentage." But for the mere fact that results now go in their favor, they were quiet. And Nana became Attorney General and moved on to become a Foreign Affairs Minister and moved on to become a flag bearer of the party. Everywhere in this world, PB and even in America today, there are still problems with the electoral system.
But so UGD say, yes, even though there are problems in the electoral system, you have level of irregularities. And for the Supreme Court, Adom, watching numbers the level of irregularity, one key aspect of Ejuma Omu Yina say, I'm passing irregularities course one na to what extent and as irregularities in Koye na capacity one day say betimi adane aba Dr. Frejan Bobo and when you Electoral Commission.
So many problem.
Supreme Court.
Many problem with that. My problem is why sorry ani abetina ani say after the vet yasum diemra. That is our problem.
Because nipa what sir I think
so why did we encourage it then in the first place?
And you say you free constitution. So I
can't say free constitution. I'm saying that say usuma breweria and the I mean this time round we should sit down and be talking about development that is going on in this country.
And I mean Supreme Court to decide development now can answer me. Development no.
Development in the country.
Now who is near development? Maybe and obviously who see a dying quan say development.
Maybe who pursue a different development, and that is in the Supreme Court. But if that is what you want to see, and the amendment in a hand council,
so constitution,
what is wrong with your constitution? What is wrong with your constitution currently? You see what we are trying to do. What in Yamba? Maybe I understand the game plan of the MPP very well, but the
game
a game plan very well, and they are achieving it because through mono they are getting their message across. But you see, in our areas, you see, as at now, I'm not sure that is what every Ghanaian is looking for. Say, we always sit by the television and look at. Say election results be echo this or echo that. I'm not sure that is what Ghanaians want to hear. I'm not sure say Ghana for you and they say at the end of everything, me and you cannot come and sit here and be talking to the listeners out there, viewers out there. And that is what a year as at now. And we are spending all our time talking about that. Now, how many people in the development that is going on? Because 70% of media response out there is on Supreme Court. It's on when you say Kumasi Airport. You see, I'm not say yeah expanded. Are you aware?
More expanding here.
We are aware.
Oh,
I'm just asking you a question.
Say
we are aware.
I'm more expanding and I say
the whole airport
now more expanding and I say
Kofi Juma a time as KMA boss. Omo yes on be expanding no. And to me and as I speak with you now. Kumasi Airport is being developed into the international standard. Of course, because
I was in Kumasi 2 weeks ago, man.
Oh, sir, and you be a one.
No, any one here for
be a one, but good. But me sure Honorable Kofi Juma will not dispute that. Undisputed. But if you come from airport roundabout, Ultra Electricity Company, then we pay. Don't say Kwanza Bo, ne site kakraka. I've not seen that.
Yeah, equipment in you go.
Sir.
No, almost
Of course, just because you don't want to see.
You don't
want to see. Almost start here, Juma. Almost start here, Juma. No, almost start here, Juma. Well, okay. Well, it's so good, sir. People that are watching us in Kumasi. So let them say. But I don't expect Honorable Kofi Juma to say it's not happening because it's in Kumasi. What I say. But I'm saying, say, how many people like you yourself, you always go to Kumasi and come over playing works, but you don't know that even the Kumasi airport is being developed, is being expanded into an international standard. Just because all our time is on Supreme Court.
Many playing goes the airport one anyway.
So now you move there. So I have that issue said. We'll talk about that. If we will be asking Agana Nasumbi, how did we get to that side? Secondly, the issue itself I work out. They say there ain't mean court nothing. But you see, the MPP are jubilating all over.
Really?
When I'm on Facebook, Honorable Kofi Juma go to Facebook, say, and some will go on it. It's even no contempt or court. It's beginning to say Samuel Okune
anyway.
Can crash.
Also where you the every. Also where you the every.
I'm a need me. But you see, Supreme Court have said and I'm baby and on Facebook there work as and say there's a rerun and His Excellency John Dramani Mahama a t-shirt a man for say you be sabe to abano for floor. I'm say Kaba e be Honorable Kofi Juma senior onya opportunity no be kire say MP before the rerun the court ho and say omude asem for floor no and can the court decide something I won't find court because the India you name there and they say a court in the obebu na semewie no na do declare the president because you see fact case we ko 4,000 votes bi or 4 million votes bi ho no ma dudu say yentin free His Excellency John Dramani Mahama's vote na dudu say yentin free na do de ye wia ye kambomu and that is what Badwam presented Dr. Badwam presented in court na do be president. Now the MPP are talking about a rerun. Is that an indication? Say, case the court no, the evidence per the cross-examination of Chatuchi Katanuna, they are now backing out of Omadiano and wishing say a bit to me Abba said there will be a rerun into the elections. Secondly, the issue now the Kokojina court. Are we now running away from it? It's a clear case. And he said, yeah, go on, now that is all we are talking about. Now, man, full jubility. Yeah, cross-examination. I think you have my addresses. And the MPP are jubilating so much when a court case. Cover. Who found us as in the team?
Oh, Facebook.
Baby, Honorable Kofi Juma Bekasa says, see, or Bekasa Mau in the case.
Hey, that would be contemptuous.
No, yes, I need court to get work on Kaza go to Romano. The evidence now one BBI is an indication say they've won the case or the case will go in their favor. Would they I don't want to go in there, but again, you say Nanado is storing some constituencies and or more assurances.
Yeah. No way.
I mean, it's on social media and on MPP's platforms.
Sir,
I'm saying to confirm. I mean, I'm just putting it.
But it's for me.
Say, and in some areas, Kumasi, I don't know. Honorable Kofi Juma Masha say check t-shirts, white t-shirts, and some places they are also saying so. You prepare yourself for a rerun.
MPP before nation t-shirt, but Momo de Amunya.
Then I was here. I've said it. Say, I worked as a regional secretary for Ashanti region. I am for one ballot paper and added to any ballot box in Ashanti region. Not a single one. Any tenancy bring tenancy here. I say, Yanshe Honorable Kofi Juma's constituency name for being fine day. Those times, Nani, chef from Nani, Juman. They be no tete radio so near the normal CEO away near it. It is about hard work. It's about sending your message. It's about putting your message across. And that's what we did for His Excellency John Dramani Mahama. And we won the elections. By far, they be a Makase. Ghana 4 were going to elect a president. Obedi Ghana anymore. what the Ghana be see a certain height. And among the Pana Nina, there were 3 people normally very experienced in the contest. And Ghanaians were going to decide among Umumbako. His Excellency John Dramani Mahama, Nanado Danko Akufo-Addo, and Pakwesi Inu. Because all these people are rising the political ladder to a stage. Nanado, John Dramani Mahama, and Pakwesi Inu are members of parliament before. Move up about flag bearers before.
But my ministers
before. But the difference is not who was Rosin
vice president.
Vice president, and he was the president into the elections. And he said, not the president, Kufuor Kai, say, young farmer, a senior apprentice. You remember that President Kufuor made that statement?
Yeah.
Say, Ghana for Mokotuabano, Muntuma, a senior. And you know, 2 people are respected very well in this country. His Excellency, the former President John Kufuor, and the former President Jerry Rawlings. Into Omokasa, Ghana for everywhere they are, they listen to
Kasa and Ghana for
Ghanaians bought into it. Say, somebody that is experienced. And the only experienced person among women in the experience was His Excellency John Dramani.
Kofi Ghana. Na do asha say to na mummo Ghana for amani.
So Sunday. Sunday.
Ewo hen.
Nipa
oda on na ya na ni gusu no e
ewo mi nkofo wo ha ntumi da no monam no so no mada
sleepwalkers.
Yes, ebi na ode ti ya okay. So ese Ghana for enyina yebo na adodanko ekofado yebo na baso
sa asem na ya muka na ndisi for say did you have a choice so nye court na mbekọ anka de na mbetimi aye
your tie ken o chese your choice
in any day.
Or no, say, and you think you're court.
Because you've lost the elections.
It's all come. Now, meaning say, or no, and come on court.
Come back.
Come back, can't tell him, ma.
That's so much it have for any baby.
Oh,
Omo call Obrasport.
Obrasport, Omo train can't tell him.
Oh, woman will be sick. I
won't call for them about the
woman will be sick. I now review.
MPP for yes, sir.
No,
MPP for
yeah, journalist could be a car.
Miss City. Sadly, probably, sir, no MPP. Sir, there be there. I cover MPP t-shirt. So they are called once when you t-shirt, they are shed. No good in some money, I say a power job. But really, I see a banana. Father, watch say, first of all, or you'll be a or dogana, or you'll be a or do ni padaseni. Or some you'll be so an adjunimu a dog. No, you're matured. Nipa sani man, it di a coin. Now, say, no, you hear say, over back na radio so na TV so I describe because Ghanaians have seen it. There is somebody keke. E idea Ghana ni bia di ho dance. There kosi e idea ya ntwen 50 years later any e beka. E idea e happens this year. Ghana fo nyina nim there koso there Kufuor idea why ya. I was a Ghana, the bia ye denyane a ye denyakopa ase. Say o man ni pa bia ye friend na Ado Danko Kufuor e be fa wi ase. Na obefa Ghana na obedi ekuo anim na na dwene ni nyamesuro ni nu ado a wo na ho brase otimi ema Ghana ha edwo enti se ka Kufuor ene MPP fo a anka police fo ade a omo ye homuhia police for preparation ye nyina na ye wenu mo
ene munti
eka ye dia ye no nya ntokwa ye de court musu de mu ne nya ntokwa mo twen krante ne ma eti no police for mi hu e mani age se homo ka che ya mi de mu weyi mu de mo sese no ba ya boy ho eti nyame hira commissioner say monya sa adwen no na mutimi eye aduma wi na me ka kire say Yeah, MPP for him say there will be peace. Uti na na kufuado uti MPP for penny for Odubia can say there will be peace. I didn't because he said there will be justice. Baby, there is justice, you know, there is peace. You GDA the judiciary. Until you hear some down. You say almost so no. Edi bibia beto baby ase ye de to. We no nya semwa. Afi na me ba be John Makase MPP for evidence. MPP for any evidence. And that chachu baye and na de na afarijan be and then doctor no Ghana for obia baby. Ghana for obia baby. Eje nya se ba be catch no say MPP for any evidence and now only evidence. Zo mu evidence o. Omu ni evidence o. Yeah life. Obia baby. The whole world happy. Anything me word that so say bia beto baby I say to. Me chose is here. We no matter say bo mkro fast start gani.
Mamu.
Wo start ship wo yire no wo ma efiri Ghana.
NDC for.
Mate.
Omo ship omko
outside. Mate. But you have your hotel is here the mission for wakoto 5 million na review.
Away.
Oino.
Wakoto no way.
Na brutally. And next they say do a brutal real estate. Left and right and this one at the top. And the say you near ma say do ketia o you no mama o do ma kugu. So I say because of someone here who trim. Police for chairman. Omo chairman. So I say because yeah dey ye nya butre ye leader no akufo kwa me say won bie nanu mpo anu akasa was say the battle is the Lord's odi ni bibia ma nyame e dey be bio enu won say aka enye ho enu nyankopɔ hihia the finger of God eso wo nkrofo ani so I say na mo be wi ade mu a police station refer to the finger of God. And no other crossing yes, I do evidence. It's the fee, but the say the battle is a loss. And I'm also the finger of the Lord. It's a way they near some beer account.
Tinia Frosifor no ye ni nyina no e mum hu bia munsuro bia.
The Yakopase. Mom can woman this for no who say o ma boa. Omo say can people for yeah, they also done here. Sorry, no, sorry. Yeah, see here. Atubiga oh. The asem kodom. Case closed. The obeka yati. Ye no be any tokwa. Eno mo teho, eno mo soso mo daye. Eno ade be tie o say MPP for na da be na MPP for ko gina. Yes, em nyina da court. It's so person o ti the MPP for ye kan. Enye Facebook na woko. Over so ti the MPP for ye kan. Enye yami anu na ese oti o. Udim akwa no e friend no. Lawyer Addison no.
E wa eden.
Ono na ya fa no se kasama for court. Oka kan asema mai. De ono be kan no. Ena obi a ntino de ya mi ba be gina ha keke nyina. Mo fa nya adwuma. Etino asema ye kan se ye de yenim say there's going to be peace because there's going to be justice. No yen kate corners. Yen nya hwe. E na yen sem nyina na mansan de abetum anim. Ye ka say ye ne NDC for wasem. Ye ne asa afarijan ene ne no wasem. Momo de I just obi akọ wi ade. So ati ase. Na wo oni akọ wi ade no. Wo de abrewo.
Just what tokro no dear.
What tokro no dear. No, ena do bam. But you ne nsam a wo keke kenyina metombo ase na metia. The opeso o kire ne se. Awini aba ofi. Da wa ba be wia wa de te se wa de kura we. Na ya mi ni nuanu aba ni abefa. No mienu no ma ba abefa. Na o mo ko na kaba wudam awiu was it hade na we did this adan na wo ye didi na unim se nkofo ada na adan na se o tie bu se awi adan na yesa wo kokaka se wa wi amade unim se wo ha me ya pipi for jo no ka o se ya ye no ya kwa akoto aba ye fi se ye wi aye ye de court no so ye de call ye no ye anko fa MPP constitution ene de koto wo ye de Ghana national constitution ene de akoto se ukọ na mokoto aba na wo fi se ye sisu anase ye wi awa ekwan a ese wo fa so enie ene ye fa sa kwan no so wo se woti kwa pai se wo ko wi aye no me en kan we na je say there's peace na baby na uwia na uwia na uwia na uwia
so what asmo o kan na see asmo na o kan say right from the word go no I say show consistency wa adia na moye no even in court ma amend mo rating almost twice or so yeah che say asa density na ko nanim na esesa nti ase mo na mo nyini na so papa bia no ni asmo o ka
so mi hu baby anasam baby efi miti wo ene baby anenan wo so ati ase asemo a ya dia court no ya kwa withdraw case na free court ana and I say the original winner release the say kopene ya kwa sesam
there be
eno an say the inkrata e de koye ya kwa from 11,000 ya kwa 26,000 iti we sema o kekekam o kan amana kwa akosi sei e de koye no e ho court asem ene e koka baby a ese e beka politics asem a e wono ye va go Supreme Court o eti wo peso utu fra na we confuse ukrofo court de e da court de ese ye court ehihye esi de no ya ye betena aso a ha ne nye court o aha no de e ye politics eno so no me ma me gina ha e meka court asem wo no ne o mfreze contempt ese me ha no politics de e na ese meka ene ye kofie so a ye wodi ye koka no e wo fie eti wasima wo kan me hu nani ena me hu na basa ena me hu ne nan asemo no ye se mo ya me no aba ya to Ghana ha bia no mo luzu me personal belief no aba ya to Ghana nyina from 1992 mo luzu ni nyina mo wiem na ye se that every day for thief man one day for master any atia so mu se ko ena mra na se mo so mu a ekwan a I was say mo fa so any ye fa so na wo fi se mra no e fa e de nhihye foforo bi ba ya se bi anke mo wi aye ye nka nkyere mo se mo ye wi a so atia se anke beka che so mo ye wi ba Ghana mra mo Ghana constitution criminal prosecution is done by government obia ni authority eti aye den e na wo wi amade wo so kwan so na betim di akokot wo so na wi aye na me say ka jo say fa wa okokot except it says civil eti be jena ha na ba be confuse crofo to say they say yes mo wi mu na ekokot ya ka mo wi mu aha no yes civil case
but o kan samba ku bia mpese me twa adwinjina so on say o kan ni say and sa question kro na me post ya ma no so me tru ni so a o kan say abato obi enu emu da ho fine na America English you ABC na mu wini 2004 no there mo ahun say na irregularities wo
paper church
sa question na me so
bisa me na me
ma bisa
okay me say from 1992 including the year winning nyina no o mu wiem
that na 2004
mama expand say me ka se o wiem a eti say wo fie so ati ase na de bia no so obi wo bank a okoyi sika no ate ani so ati ase ba to di aka no ebrew eno chese wa nwia wo da obewe no na chese wo wi ani nyina wa fa bia ma so ati ase se de no o wi ani nyina eti tamu a ye wini ye no ne chese wa anti sika nani
but ne so anti mo anka ho asem
enya hwe de mu afa no mo fa nko That is what happened. Me, I'm saying, say, even Kufuor, last time we lose to Mason.
Really?
Yes. I call me a friend of Biobo, me body didn't know why MIT. Oh, you're one of the engineers. I bet I had to be an over every day 45, 1 day. Because, say, yeah, who said, court, I say, we evidence every before Timmy got dying. Kenya for 1 years out.
Well, say you assembly because the court will be able to decide a volume of evidence.
A volume of evidence is to be presented to court. Obian what you may be done in Africa. Such as say, so Timmy could gather evidence in 11,000 and so polling stations. Obian what the first time in the history of Africa. Court to court, not even Africa.
But it does not necessarily mean say oh the crack I do also is a court to court.
Me say
now I can say 11,000 court no be here no so no. Me say
me say gathering evidence cover that many polling stations. You know, it has never happened anywhere, not even in America. It went no crowd. The Myanmar achievement say utimi ye to aba in less than 1 month. Utimi put it together this volume of evidence, you know, and you're unique in the history of the world.
I see. Yeah, I'm on the top of my man.
And nothing easy. Now, as I know a achievement now, Baumia, etimi lead etimi put it together, no, and no by itself, no. Actually, say Sani Passy, and your dear Japadie, Ejano. Now, say where who call ball. Now 11 players, able against you. Now referee, able against you. The assistant referees, able against you. Match commissioner, able against you. Now boy, now Timmy Ekachero say, "Sanko for we. This is what happened." Match commissioner no emu crab against you. Any achievement? I ne yadi akwa ma FIFA for. Say asem ni nyina ni.
Arbitration.
Yeah, they are coming FIFA. It was evidence. Here's the evidence. After the moment, we MP before say they were run off. They ran off.
Yes, so crowd could be official.
We had so on cherry. Ukra tablet. You know, they didn't run off. What could we are? Say, "Acho, yeah, me. Only other colleague ministers. My country will say, Ufri Hasea. I had the second year.
Okay.
Ghana must go. Kotobi. Let's start the party on Yama. And I must see Carlos who are more dear. I started JJ. More money per match. Yami Dunti. And Timusu Sundi. Was also JJ.
Yami, some chrono maybe so now we pay Makwako Jinkra to Aba. 92, 96 are moving here. Were there irregularities?
Question who would say senior or anti-Yano?
Who would you name Bissau?
On to me, no, because
I didn't tell you who say you all the elections.
Oh, yeah, a master of Sir at the end of course in Ashanti.
Any idea in a course?
He was the KMA chief executive then. In 2004, I will be a member of parliament in Ashanti. Kaba, this is the first time it be a phenomenon issue, but I've said it here. In Ashanti region, yet me two about polling station, not ballot papers, near Kojibi Free Baby, near the Aba. Honorable Kofijuma was the KMA chief executive.
Our constituency.
Quite a so constituency.
We okay.
That also.
And
just because me
ballot papers no asam ya kwaje for
2004 I was the candidate for Kwada, so he was the candidate for Aswa. Me cite on no, and I have evidence to cite on the constituency. But the Kwada constituency, he was the chief executive of Kumasi. The police and for intimidating for system they just to have undue advantage of the system. But the about polling station Kaba. Now Ubeko polling station no be at you. And then I say ballot papers. Asa
The Electoral Commission for
Ediaba. And you know what?
No, it's strange.
What is it strange?
I didn't see.
It's strange. They say ballot papers say they call polling center beer. Yeah, the excess of 10%. But it's under no circumstance.
And I bet
100% na asania sa ko excess.
Almost to say no.
But but
possibility. I don't know.
Say we see who sport.
We are almost to say.
That is what happened. That is what happened in Ashanti. But I'm saying, sir.
Now,
96 need to 92 one can once more. And the question may be so. Were there irregularities?
Where is the irregularities?
Ain't it been here? The people say election be irregularities
because you move
96 maybe
every
moving
election in this country.
96 moving in maybe
piano slight problems or the other. Because when you say currently, as constituency. The figure now we can start is or more announcement. No or more inflate or more figure by 10,000. Asukwa no more inflate on figure by 10,000. And that was what was going around. Until say so vigilant. It raised an objection to that. Nanka 10,000 figure.
But only Masamano.
The member say na ATRCC and said, "Ye move step after step. Definitely our electoral system is getting better and better. Everywhere in the world, our practice democracy. Even in America, the first 3 elections in America, go and read the history.
18 something.
Of course.
And American 2000.
Of course. And then when you sit down, now the American elections, Ghana elections, you are making a mistake.
But I'm saying time on that one.
I'm saying that TSCA in 2012 elections, Honorable Kofi Juma and what TSCA would do. Say the NDC won the election fairly. I mean, we played the game in Ashanti region, match them boot for boot, and into ballot papers answer our polling station.
Me ma unki kan ko be bia person call so dem ye fancy wara Supreme Court you know me o ma be me puno dodo me pass him bia there be o see in 2012 the NDC won the election fairly and maybe I be so the call the fancy wara
no tete Ubusa irregularities in elections.
Ubusa 96 and 92.
But I don't know Ubusa 2004.
No, because that's in contention. And they all called
2004
there was 2012.
2004.
2004.
And I'm catching say 2004. 2008.
2004.
2004. Yeah, of course.
Yes. So let's move on. So let's move on.
2008.
Let's make progress.
Now, Honorable Kofi Juma.
Text messages. No, I mean, me time I never pointed you. Me time
I will polling station. Ballot papers, no. Na etimi sam ye kofo biba.
What can say
that? Campaign in 2000.
What can say text messages. If Kofi Juma has nothing to tell us, one sorry free setting so asoma okay yentina sekra Atia James Edifi Zebila and Ode Debre or say Kaba. The deputy minister saying he's not aware of the T-shirt sharing of the NDC. He should be serious and speak the truth. Kofi Juma, well done. Yamin Shroud, the battle is still the loss. How do you do? Ernest, or the Fisunyan Kotokrum, or the free brain. Bravo, Honorable Master Kofi Juma, you've made my day. Yamin, okay, Infantos Bentel from Kwashiman, and or the free brain. Kofi Juma, Nedian San out to studio hockey can. Sheriff Debra, the free soldier man. Even at this stage and level, people like Kofi Juma still call the respondents thieves. What does he want the young to remember him for? People like him should be held accountable if Ghana were to experience any upheaval. Ali Baba from Pusiga and Odibrain. Kaba, why do you always bring Kofi Juma? Kaba, as the MPP man, why he's been Andrew and Zibila. Kaba, good morning. We first said that and the NEC is not having anything good for this country. They said better Ghana, now it is bitter Ghana. Ghanaians are crying. Kofi Juma ya also ye kakra o na ya na nyema no koyi okay ye nto aso udidi atem de anya de amekan Kaba Nanado can never be president okay me fa so here Isa Ola Madina no di free brain or say Kaba please after voting for a DC and the vote doesn't go in their favor how many days 10 days 10 days no so mo one from Cratchit West or say Cratchit West after 10 days one samba be 2 BMO well any enko bi say about saying or see please tell Yami say TV is not here one can some papa in Ghana for I thank God for giving us peace of Jerusalem papa ni mobile phone serious so one I say I still cannot comprehend why some media houses and still entertain Sekun Nkrumah on their program. His father was accused of being a dictator. They say, oh no, sorry, I know what can say. Malaji will PF come and or the praying. Kaba, the NDC propagandists like the deputy minister should give us a break. Is he saying that the justices should ignore the supreme laws of the land and allow errors like 27-0, double codes, etc. to pass? Ebe, JK from Golukwati in the Volta region. Kaba Kofi Juma doesn't know in some or two or can Yami Yeda say Swabe can Eric from Obuase and or Debre. I'm appealing to the judges, they should not allow anybody to influence them because the whole world is watching us. Arthur from Takwa and or Debre. Please Kaba ask Kofi Juma if they will accept the judges' report when they have printed a t-shirt name you and I were not there. Frudu from Hudu in Obuase. Please tell the MPP communicators that in some awamukeka can yempekra. For that reason, Kaba tell them say omuni choice biya niebebe biya no wombe jatum. Please tell the MPP men that without Akufo-Addo, Ghana will not die. One from Donyina Peter in Sinyai. And I say, I mean, the extension of the Kumasi airport is not going to have any impact on the ordinary people. We sleep in darkness, hardship, and poverty. Tambia, Mbungkurubu, Yo, and all the brain. Kaba, do you know that God? Okay, Ajay from Asifus made 2 hours and say, we thank God that finally He has given us our promised man. One from Christian Kumasi, please tell. Whoa. Why edit it? Please, you can read it.
Okay. But it's also complete.
Please tell Yami, if he wants to continue his political ambition, yeah, one more Nanado Abasu Kakra. Nanado or Dogana Kracha or no Yami. One from Obuba and or the brain. Please ask Kofi Juma if justice could mean the verdict going in favor of his opponents, Max Ntichuman. And I'm very optimistic there will be peace after the Supreme Court verdict comes out. One from Usinko, Damongo, and Odebre. We thank God that, okay, I think my kind this one. Kaba, can you show us when Nanado fell on the platform? Hey. Oh, Kumasi, no. How big that fall is. And una ama Nanado in the name of politics.
Oh. Video the bit me show, but
who will show no way?
Say we YouTube.
Kaba, the project is ongoing at the Kumasi airport. And about Kumasi, Mr. Miko Kumasi 3 weeks ago. In fact, who saw more by me saw more. That make Kumasi, maybe many years. Yami is a many. Kaba, it appears Yami is not even dreaming of handing over his position. Crash. Catch it, no. So, what you need this idea? You will hand you over or say from BBNE. If President Mahama really won the elections, it will be determined by the Supreme Court. We trust the judiciary. Bracken from Kumasi. I'm sorry, Honorable Yami's understanding of development implies that most of these deputy ministers, one more crown, Asante from Kumasi. And I'll say, the brain, Kaba, we should not encourage and beat war drums. God is already in control of this country. Titus from Elemble and all the brain. Imagine Kratos Simani, the Abayaba. Yebeko and someone who drew more can teach you Jidans and some more deputy minister or high so report in on her when you mean her and Afi Niema Aka energy issues Yabasia. Yegusa Obejemo Adom TV Deputy Minister of Youth and Sports Honorable Yamin Joseph and our Hanafi Honorable Maxwell Kofi Juma, former Asqua MP in anan pe gu so ene omo dwendwen ho so afi no ajoin here nkomo a ye di dada efa election petition ene ho nkomo aba besene ko almost 8:25 or Adom TV ye pem so akosi 8:40 na afi ye de nkomo about Tigo Fest is an say Adom TV ani Tigo be kan bom ni akwada na ye de ada asafotofia media brɛ nra ene nanam ahemfo di ho nkomo ye de ho nkomo aka de be brɛ at 8:40 na ya ka on so say Adom praise ebeba so nyame Adom a Saturday kronara 6 p.m. Pepe Kek Franklin and when I go for my free America Buchi Eba na Airtel and so asen or Perez Dome Word Miracle Church Kane Womudin on Jowlu Junction and to make a date with us nyame Adom Saturday Ewada and Jowlu. Na yempim so ne come my last 2 text messages na fi yenko jida and some aka or energy mun sensem or say kaba seriously I mean tiasem na wo kana see o because concerts have been at the Kumasi airport long before the elections. So what does it mean by they extending the airport into international standards? Or funny din hanka or say, Mr. Moderator, please let the minister know that peace is being preached because those of our people in the villages might not understand the issues. And your villages in Kwankojo, Ghana, we be crying, we be Muntias here. Or say, it is a big fat lie. The place under construction is a place where someone has bought and doing his own thing. I'm a staff at the airport and if you talk about the reality, honorable, somehow can't even crack. Lina from Kumasi. Missy da meko Kumasi, me have the cameras record me akucha. I'm here. So mo ya the papa. And there no doubt about it. O me ya the papa. Inti ye bobo mo ba so mo ya dia. Ba mo amuti Kumasi ebe airport and am more airport. Me say na ndu Kumasi lady back call security. O say come on am say hi. Inti one more mo send me text why say am pass bibi say cause. Was it kaba? What does honorable Yamin mean? Hey, with the Iranian power, what does Honorable Yamin mean or know about international airport? Kotoka, our main airport, lack huge amount of facilities, and he is sitting there talking about Kumasi Airport being upgraded to an international airport. No, you can say Mark Prim and ODSC. Was say Kaba Yamin any sheka. He's afraid of losing his job. You too understand him. Stop asking him questions. Kwesi from Water Region. Kaba, does Yamin respect the constitution at all? Please tell him we bought TV so we can. Okay, Mpacho, me fan so Hawaii. Kaba, the NDC man is afraid of losing his position. You tell him Nana is coming. Mpacho, I shouldn't have read that. Please ask the minister why the NDC didn't go to court to challenge the results when he went into their favor. That's the question Bisa now, or the running around way in Yano. Please, Honorable Yamin, through justice we get peace, and with peace we can get development. The court action is towards development. Period. Kwame Uso and Sandy Fikumasi and or the Bre Yang. Kaba, stop Yamin from taking Sansam no Okakahono. Why you be me a bofu? Please tell Yamin to stop telling untrue story. No matter and leave the Supreme Court to do their own thing. Alex, aka Pakayo, or the Fiadanse Praso, and or the Braying. Or say, Kaba, why is the minister wearing an MPP design shirt? Yami, which shirt is any MPP colors? Oh, the MPP colors. Now, don't grab me because you're like us, MPP for shirt in the semi. Hey, Ghana for. Kojona de Braying. Or say, Kaba, please tell your technicians to be careful when giving portfolios. Yami is a deputy minister of sports and education. Okay, I think so. There was a mistake. You're correct here. That's Papa. Kaba is a young, is what? Is what today? Is a young minister going to work from different TV stations this afternoon or do work for Mother Ghana? So I don't know. You're also from Campus. One or say good morning, Kaba. If Vanderpool is claiming who is a guy, okay, I'm say Vanderpool is a German who had you cry. Yeah, Maka cray. Man, won't turn. Okay, but honorable Mpacho, all the Jida reports to me by.
Report there, you want to be an answer.
Yamude come president, no.
And young free president home by.
Sir,
a free hoba will be answered.
Na enkusi da ben na president be ye ho adwumari.
But it's left to the president to decide. So also who's the president?
What the command him say na otwumi ensan ne.
Whether it takes 1 year or 6 months or 1 day, report will finally come out.
Mate. What the actually maybe some was but then before your press conference, Sima, there are some on the 2 Jawa energy. You better no boom. Now yet media we or just 10 minutes more to wrap up.
The news conference covered all the major subsectors including electricity supply, petroleum prices, rural electrification, operations of the Ghana Gas Company, and proceeds from the country's crude oil. The various speakers, however, dwelt largely on electricity, which they say has been poorly managed by the NDC administration.
If we view the performance of the government as outlined above, when in the whole of 4.5 years of the administration, only 2 megawatts of solar power, which is of doubtful pedigree and parentage in any event, has been added to the installed capacity, then nobody needs to tell us that we have been fed Kweku announcing stories. This NDC government is pathologically incapable of telling the plain truth to its citizens. By 2014, 2015, 2016, the country would remain in pitch darkness and further rounds of planned load shedding would be announced regularly.
On the issue of gas supply, it said 3 years after the country started producing crude oil, associated gas is still being flared while the country relies on the West Africa gas pipeline for only a meager supply of gas.
As of now, of the 123 million SCFPD that the country has contracted under West African gas pipeline, only 60 million is supplied. That is, if any is available at all. The unreliability of this source of supply has clearly manifested itself in the pitch darkness the country has been plunged into over the last months, when Sonon Sogli's 20 megawatt generation was shut down due to lack of supply from the West Africa gas pipeline, among other reasons.
The group maintains the country's energy sector is riddled with corruption, inefficiency, indecision, self-interest, and misguided and inappropriate policies, adding the results are beginning to show in the economy.
We stated that this crisis is internally generated. It is the result of the bad policies and indecisions of this government. It has nothing to do with the Akosombo Reservoir, which has recently seen one of its highest levels of inflow in many years.
Adom say, Joy News.
Well, brofo no ni duro nyina etonam ne owura ketia mono no kanyina ne se Ghana yenyina mohoden nsem no yade a enkoyi minister ma mesha se mfiri usu biem na enfa gida hode ne nhyase na enfa we ni nwram ne enwie time ya so anisa nti se gida nsem no aban enye concern kakra se media houses we here at multimedia cry publish some report ni bia yensa aka ni bi and I say yes nkofo din ababa mu ni ade no ma penny to me cry wo ni reporter working can na mo fa me to abonti na obi ehun ni ewom
well me that's be but so onim be ya adwin say governance is not run based on multimedia's pressure.
Hey, we need a second minister who can ask me actually.
Oh, of course, because multimedia have every right to source for information, and you have every right to air it out. But government embrace on multimedia in doing its work. Yeah, as the ministry, you're responsible to government. You're setting up a committee, and in fact, multimedia and the breaking story. And the multimedia was aware. Say yes, a committee to look into national the banner. Nay, Magana Funi who say a no correct. And I say a correct. In fact, Manasi was invited to meet the committee. Emma or the also finance here then. We had to present the report to government. How are multimedia munya a report whether say the correct report you are holding or not? It's left to you. But definitely, set young committee now function from. And in fact, there was one time Adom FM about G-Day and a friend. I say, why do you rush? In here, in Kenya. Say, corruption is everywhere. But to take a bold decision and say, let us look into the program. One very important plus for this government. And it's the report made a bababonti. Committee in the mandate in the time at the man we report no so yan fan my president in a secret mood. Now the president will revert back to us or put it out there. Program Nankasa committee did not look into the corruption Manasi and the bababonti. But it looks into the totality of the program. No for recommendations, Emrani say program Nankasano, a bit may beneficial to Ghana or not. And their recommendations are there. Findings be bring Ababonti. Say moon report no Bukrano if it is the correct report I become president. Then maybe you are citing one side of the report. Because the findings of the committee, how many now who say NYEP now JIDA, any legal backing. In 2006, 5 and 6 near the program, this was just like that. I
said in 2009, mobile catcher say any legal backing, and you were to take it to Parliament, give it legal backing.
Of course, now, you know the procedures in everything. Now, we are not free where findings about corruption, Emma, the need for the committee to look into contracts. The Emma providers here, this. And you know, say, if the report you are having, anything to go by. From 2006 to 2009, contractor, the MPP government signed with the providers. Document the Quran now for us to even look at it and see whether I say a good contract signed or not. And that is what the program was and now. And so it is going to look at everything of the program. But the final recommendation was the program is so good, say, so we have to look at all this. Now we are going to get a legal framework for it. We are going to make sure, say, contract, whoever are taking undue advantage of the program, so what's all refund there, you refund. So media, you can be going on with whatever source of information you have, but leave government to come out with the final report.
Marty, Kofi, you monitor for Nianko, Ebraraso.
Jida report to I very dream. Say, Omobi to me a release. Because from top to bottom, Omo ensa, Omo hwene, Omo fu, enjina account. Now, with all due apologies, I will not even leave out the president. And yet, the first time, a month for I call for an inquiry. I was JIDA in the activities. President Mahama BD, President, my minister. This is about the third or fourth investigation on my. Unfortunately for them, it's already in the public domain. And you know, on to me and white out a lot of the things. No, under the guy say national security. And almost they prepare almost. Yeah, they about a trouble thing. If you could be free, because where you were free. And they say the only excuse I want to president can we. But I'll also tell you, say report no crown, a scratch on the surface. A scratch on the surface.
To say more.
Oh, yeah, because we bed don't want to call. na enema ekoso wo ho no all year ba but a signature of the present NDC government. Yami. The guy say, Yami. And yes, what you saw. Biao.
On this is
Papa National can say, create, loot, and share.
That's it. You fancy?
Yes, okay.
On pay your National, you on command who do fear CD, internet say, each so. Na yede sa nkomo na aka ne to aso woni se nkomo na ne aka no oto aso ofie mu ne mu nkwankwa ni ase no mu offices a na na assession ko ne de ma oso afọ abedi che ya hwe mabru ni agudie nsem so wura Joseph Yamin anope da se oba beboa nkomodie mu na afi so no Maxwell Kofi Juma ya skwa kane mrashibedwani ni wo se otete hama esa yade esa Ghana fo ti wa yade bia ko hu na bia na obesa yade o sa no do near come up. We didn't come back. Me call Dr. Amin Bonsu, Amin Scientific About Hospital in Como, Tigo Fest in Como, and in Comaka, if you send Beba, and see a 900 abasisia.